Hi, everybody. Welcome to the AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined today by a returning guest. It's been a long time, though.
I wondered if you remembered that.
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember
Drew Freed.
you, man. Drew Freed, Mountain Man, previously.
Yes.
You talked about...
Still a mountain man at heart.
You are.
Yeah.
You talked about during COVID, you went to ski resorts and casinos.
Yeah.
And you and I...
Did I go to... Okay.
Casino hotels.
Yeah.
That were cheap.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
In Reno. That was
in Reno.
Yeah, towards the end of COVID, yeah.
And you and I have some snow adventures, but we gotta really go to the first, I think, major change with you. Social media star now.
Yeah, social media
influencer.
Star. Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah. So OnlyFans.
Yeah, OnlyFans. I'm working on it. I'm working on it right now. That'll be up soon.
I'm really enjoying telling people about your social media because they go, what? I go, yeah, he roasts mailboxes, and they go, what?
Yeah.
He roasts mailbox. What?
Yeah. Then when you explain it, people like just laugh at just the idea of it. So
yeah, I mean, it's absurd.
It's an absurd idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta. I mean, it's an idea. Only someone with like mental problems would probably come up with.
Yeah, you're sick.
Yeah, I'm kind of sick.
You're sick.
But I use it. I lean
You're
into
a
it,
sicko.
and that's
Sick
when life gives you lemons.
Sick fucker. How did you think of it? The original,
The
the first.
Well, so I was watching a lot of like roast shit on YouTube, and I don't know why I'd never like watched roasts before, and I just for some reason got like the algorithm threw me down a hole, like a rabbit hole of roast stuff on YouTube.
You like it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hit or miss, really. Sometimes it's really mean. But yeah, basically I was wondering if I had that muscle
Sure.
to like roast. So then I started like secretly roasting people in public, like in my head.
Whoa.
Like I'd look at someone and be like, what would I say if I was roast battling them? What would I say about the way they kind of look like Ernest Goes to Camp, piece of shit, like whatever. So I was doing that, and then I was running in my neighborhood, and my neighborhood has all kinds of individualistic looking mailboxes. So I don't know, I was like, look at that. I started making fun of mailboxes.
Huh.
That's kind of how it happened.
Damn. Yeah,
And then
you're really sick. The more you talk about this, the sicker you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So
They have so much personality, though.
Yeah, but was it because is this rich people?
Yeah, I think I think that is a like key element to it. Whenever I've done like poorer mailboxes, it just doesn't have as much of a. It's when you take down the rich man's mailbox. Yeah, that's where the power is.
Well, this is an interesting kind of pod controversy. Is I've said all this stuff that upsets people, and it's usually because I'm ignorant, because I don't know about women and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. You famously don't know much about women.
Don't really know a lot about women, but and I'll say ignorant things because I don't know better, and the audience is 90% women, and so they get mad at me, and I listen and I learn.
Your audience is 90% women?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
well, they would not think that.
They would tell you it's because men don't care if they hurt people.
Oh, because
am I the asshole, right? So men don't care if they're the asshole. And they're not wrong.
Very interesting.
Men will roast mailboxes before getting therapy. You've been to therapy though. Anyway.
I've done some like free stuff. I've dabbled.
Put the mic closer to your mouth.
Oh,
baby.
sorry. I've dabbled online.
So anyway, where was I going? Oh, the most controversial take, which is mailbox related, that I couldn't believe the audience was not happy. This guest came on and said that the free little libraries, which are kind of mailbox, is that a type of mailbox? Is a question.
Yes, I did roast one once.
Yeah.
And I had it in the edit, but it just didn't feel right. I felt like
touch it.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't touch it. People like those little libraries. That's what I learned. You don't fuck with the little libraries. That's what this audience.
Oh, I didn't think anybody used them. I've never seen anybody going in and out of the library.
Watch yourself.
Am I treading on?
Yourself.
I'm on thin ice right now.
Yeah, people are very passionate about that because I think they serve. Speaking of this, like punching up, punching down.
Yeah.
They serve places that may not even have a library. They might be too small of a town.
Not the ones I'm seeing. The ones I'm seeing are in this rich ass neighborhood.
Well, that's kind of the angle that the person took. And then people were like, well, that's the ones you've seen because you're fucking rich and privileged.
Well, but I'm not, though. I just live adjacent to the...
No, you live in a luxury building. You've invited me over to the hot tub.
Yeah, but I can't afford it. I'm not, I'm going into debt.
I know we're going to talk a little bit about that.
No, let's not.
Well, you're recently married.
Yeah.
Are you married? I didn't understand what you are.
In the eyes of God.
Oh.
We're not legally married.
Got it.
But we dressed up. We were in Italy.
Yeah.
We dressed up and we jumped off this little cliff in a suit, and she was in a wedding dress. We jumped off this cliff into this water.
Oh my God.
We said really nice things to each other.
Yeah.
Promises.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
we
catch
had
this before. Wow.
Yeah, we had a photographer and a makeup person for Bridget. And then we held hands. We said really nice things to each other, and we jumped into the water. It's cool. The pictures are cool.
That's cool.
And then
I didn't know you did that.
We didn't sign anything legally.
Yeah.
But what we did do was I don't know if I should talk about this, but I fertilized her eggs. She had frozen eggs.
Right.
And so like 2 weeks before we did the unofficial ceremony, I fertilized her frozen eggs. Okay. So as far as I'm concerned, that's signing. You want to talk about signing the dotted line or whatever.
You fertilized her eggs.
We're
really
connected.
Weird.
If I were to run away now.
But it is what it is. She got the fertilized eggs.
You want to talk about, am I the asshole? If I were to leave now that I fertilized her eggs, if I was like, actually, I don't want to do this.
She doesn't have any unfertilized?
Women have a limited supply.
Right.
So the further along we go here, maybe she does. Technically, she does.
No, I mean in the freezer.
No, because the way it works is they take all my guys.
Yeah.
And they try to fertilize as many as they can, all of them.
Oh.
And then only a couple of them end up, they're
So how many fertilized eggs do you have?
I'm proud to announce today that we have 3.
That's enough.
Fertilized eggs.
And what's the odds that one takes?
2 of them have very good odds. 2 of them are near superhuman.
Tell me about the weak one, though.
The weak one is the one I'm most interested in.
Me too.
The weak one is, have you ever seen the movie Gattaca?
No, actually, I've been meaning to watch it, though.
Oh, yeah, you should watch it. That's a good movie.
Yeah.
But the weak one, basically, so the 2 strong ones were strong enough to genetically test.
Wow.
So they put a needle in, they test it for all bad stuff.
Ooh.
They've determined that they're in the clear.
Prime.
Really good. The 3rd one, not strong enough to test. So it could be good, but it's like a mystery. It's like the mystery airheads or whatever for people that are older.
Oh, yeah. They're like white.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was in there. But sometimes they were better because you didn't know.
Yeah. And I'm a gambling kind of guy. So I actually said this to her mother. Her mother was staying with us recently, and I literally, to my mother-in-law, said this joke that like, I'd like to put the mystery one in.
I'm sure she loved it.
She didn't laugh.
Yeah.
And she was just like, that's something the guy would say or something.
Yeah. Well, she's not wrong.
I was like, oh, damn, I bombed.
I mean, you did, but you got to read the room. You can't be saying shit like that in front of your mother-in-law. But you guys are a pretty stereotypical comedian couple.
Oh,
I would say. Yeah, because you're like funny and like a little messy, with love. And then she's like very put together, and she's a what is she, a nurse practitioner?
Physician
She's a physician's assistant.
I think they actually upgraded the name to, it's a physician associate now.
Physician associate. And you have long hair, like you guys standing next to each other.
A yin
like,
yang, if you will.
How did this guy?
I call us arts and sciences.
Oh, that's cute.
That's a good one, right?
You could be a good department of a university,
Yeah.
The Drew and Bridget School of Arts and Sciences.
Yeah. Check it out. It can be online. I'll start it.
That's
buy a domain, and
you should. That could be a good way to make money.
Yeah. I need to do that.
You do. Yeah. Cause we're going to talk a little bit about that, but
it's not.
So you've got the mailboxes. We're roasting the mailboxes. You're a married man.
Yeah. Bridget's going to the hospital. She's saving people's lives. People are dying on the table, and I'm out rollerblading around making fun of mailboxes.
You rollerblade. Yeah, I forgot that detail. You're rollerblading when you do this. Yeah. And you are, I mean, I think I mentioned before that you are a beautiful skier. You really do ski with a grace.
Oh, I don't remember you seeing me ski.
Yeah, you really do lots of little twirls and stuff.
I love twirls, both on skis and snowboard.
I know, but I don't know. On snowboard, it doesn't hit. It doesn't hit the same. When I saw you on skis, there was a ballerina thing that came through.
Yeah, like I have a ballerina in me for sure.
You do. That's beautiful.
And maybe that is why I do love rollerblading.
That's the third egg. That third egg might be pure ballet.
That's what I'm
really interested in the third egg.
Me too. I'll keep you posted.
Egg.
The third egg.
So you were also mentioning, just to give some texture here, you got some celebrities that are liking the mailbox roasting. It's cool. You got comedian. Anybody the listeners might know?
Jay Moore's liked a bunch of them.
Really? That's a random.
Yeah, I love it, dude. David Spade.
Okay, well, comics. That's good.
Nikki Glazer liked a couple of them.
There we go.
Bill Burr.
That's awesome.
Bill Burr. That fluttered the heart a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah. So really, all people I really
That's
respect.
So cool.
Yeah,
that's great, man.
Yeah, and the latest one, Drew Holiday from the Boston Celtics.
Okay, I don't know him, but
no Detroit Lions yet, which is unfortunate.
Because you're a big Lions fan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna do a little mailbox situation just to send it home. Here
that makes sense.
AITA for reporting my neighbor's kid after they left a flyer in my and the whole community's mailbox. Recently, my neighbor's kid decided to start a dog walking business. She said since she was home 3 days plus weekends from school due to hybrid learning that she could walk her dogs. Okay, no problem. I'd gladly let her walk them. Only thing is, she put flyers in our mailbox. Now, with the election coming up and mailboxes being a hot topic, she committed a felony offense. I told the neighbor's parents about it, and they lashed out at me saying she's a kid and wasn't attempting to mess with anyone's ballots. Anyway, I decided to file a police report after what she did since it's obviously a serious offense. AITA.
Yes.
Yeah, right. I think we're done.
Yeah, that's it. I mean,
you're crazy.
First of all, she has like a ton of unnecessary information in there.
They're just
why bring ballots into it?
Well, I mean, I guess that's why they're sensitive to it. I guess the idea is
this is like a kid or something walking dogs.
Yeah, it's a kid. It's a kid walking dogs.
And they put a dog walking flyer.
I feel like this person is some kind of pilled. I don't know what it is, if it's red pilled or blue pilled, but they need to calm down.
Yeah.
I got yelled at for this. I don't remember what I was promoting, but I put flyers in the mailbox, and I remember somebody dropped similar language on me.
Really?
Yeah, I think a fair way to do it is to say like, hey, just so you know, you could get in a lot of trouble for that.
Yeah.
Which is true. Like, I think maybe if a cop saw you or whatever, the mail person
will. I mean, when I first started roasting mailboxes, I was a little worried that, like, I Googled it after the first couple videos
mailboxes?
Like started going. I was like, I better make sure. And I Googled, because I knew that like there was federal offense. Like tampering with mailboxes.
Insulting mailboxes is a federal offense.
Well, I used to put in the caption, like, like don't take federal offense.
Nice.
Thanks.
That's good.
See that?
That's good. I like that.
Yeah. But who cares? Fucking mailboxes.
Yeah, I mean,
they're so like uppity. That's one of the reasons I love.
There's
roasting
an arrogance.
Them. There's like an arrogance. Oh, we're federal property.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not. You're just a fucking stick.
You're a box, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the fact that this person would file a police report, it's like you need to get a hobby.
File a police report.
That's what they said. They need to get a hobby. That's crazy.
Yeah.
On a child promoting something.
Young entrepreneur.
Yeah, I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah,
it's just so. I mean, yeah, if a business did it or something like that, but like,
if it was like a new restaurant, some restaurant mogul was coming in.
Yeah, a mogul.
Like some guy with money.
Even a local restaurant, I would sooner go to the guy and be like, hey, man, you just so you know you can't do this. Rather than turn him into the police. You think this is what the police are for?
Yeah.
Like, shut up.
Right.
This is just so ridiculous. This guy's a huge asshole.
Yeah, I don't like the person that made the post, right? Yeah,
that's called the OP.
The OP.
Yeah.
What does that stand for?
Original poster.
Original poster.
Yeah. Not office post. Okay. Yeah. Don't get confused with your mailbox world.
Original piece of shit.
There we go. Yeah, so we've done a lot of skiing together. Yeah. Snowboarding. We call it skiing. That's a convention that I took from you.
Oh,
you always say that. Because I went snowboarding.
Yeah, I'm going snowboard. I don't know. It doesn't roll off the tongue.
It takes forever.
Yeah. Skiing. Ski trip, too. Like when you're just saying like, that's real short.
No, I just like I'm skiing.
Skiing.
Done.
Yeah.
It's almost like 1.5 syllables. Skiing.
Yeah. Skiing.
It's
kind of as many syllables as you want to make it.
Skiing and
skiing.
But yeah, we got just a little briefly here. We got caught in Mammoth, so we were staying in Bishop, which is basically down the mountain.
Yep.
And then we went to Mammoth.
A little cheaper place to stay.
A little cheaper motel.
Mm-hmm.
And I left the heat on. I turned the heat on as we left.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that detail.
And then we went to Mammoth, and then it snowed so much that we couldn't go down the mountain, so we were stuck. We had to pay $370.
Something. It was high 300s
to stay at a Motel 6, which hurt people.
Yeah. And it's not like some mammoth Motel 6 either.
No.
Like you go to like a different country and the McDonald's looks like classy or something. It wasn't like it was a Motel 6.
It's, I would say, particularly small rooms for a Motel 6. It's
actually bad for a Motel 6.
Kind of feels like a San Francisco Motel 6 where you're like, all right, I get it. Real estate's expensive here.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And then I had to wear the same contacts. I always think of this listener, Mia, who told me, because I've talked about this before. Because I wore the same daily contacts 3 days in a row, which for me was like a traumatic experience. She's like, yeah, I've worn the same contacts for like a month. And I'm like, okay, cool. I hope your eyes still work. Good. I guess that's a risk you're willing to take.
She's not looking at you. She's like looking above your head as she tells you.
I'm looking right at you. You're not looking. I'm over here.
I'm fine.
And then actually, you know what? This really did make me appreciate lotion. I remember you went to CVS.
Oh, yeah.
And you brought back lotion and you're like, put this on.
Yes. Epidermis needed a drink.
Yeah.
It was parched. Epidermis can get parched.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I use lotion more.
Yeah. I'm getting back into it myself. I went through a dry spell. No pun intended, but I just went to the dermatologist for the first time in a long time. And they said, make sure you're using lotion. And I was like, oh, is it like a medical? I need to do it for medical?
Yeah. It's part of your body, yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I've never heard lotion being prescribed, but sure.
He soft prescribed it.
And I thought you were saying he was a soft guy.
I'm sure he is. He's a dermatologist.
Yeah. But yeah, we survived.
Yeah.
It was good.
We bonded.
We bonded?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You remember anything else that happened?
Yeah, I remember a couple things. I remember you laughing really hard at me because I genuinely said I was in great shape.
No, that's not what you said.
What did I say?
You had been running, right? At that point, was that what you were running?
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm in incredible shape.
Oh, I said I was in incredible shape.
Yeah, and I started laughing hysterically because it was
at my arrogance.
Yeah, I think it was just like you were thin, you were lean, but you weren't really. I wouldn't not use the word incredible.
Okay.
But I mean, I think it's healthy that you said that, and I'm happy I could laugh at you and it wasn't like mean.
Yeah, I joined in the I realized how stupid it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, I'm celebrating now. I mean, I'm in the best shape of my life compared to me.
Hey man.
And that's really what it's about.
I'm not going to laugh at you for that.
You can. It's okay.
No, I'm proud.
I feel like I'm peaking right now. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
I was a tubby boy for some time, and then I got into my weightlifting.
Yeah, were you really?
Yeah, I was a little overweight, I think.
Maybe relative to you, but
sure.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm getting attention that I wasn't getting, and I'm enjoying it.
That's cool.
So that's kind of what it's about. You got to just compare to yourself, and then you can feel good. And
that's how I was feeling, you know, and compared to myself,
right?
All the years of chain smoking and you know, dropping acid in the morning or whatever it might have been. Like I was, you know.
Well, I guess we'll talk briefly about that. I've mentioned it before, I think on stage, but you are an inspiration to my sobriety.
Oh, cool.
Because now I'm clean and sober. I'm not doing anything, just caffeine.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that.
I haven't had a drink for 10 years besides the one I accidentally had in Japan. It was a mistake.
Okay. We won't count that.
We won't count that. But yeah, you are 100%. What are you at? 2-3 years now?
4 years.
4 years. Congrats.
Yeah. 4 years in August.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally sober, except for coffee.
Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to say clean now, but there was a split.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
haven't heard
tweeted
about
it,
that.
and people were like, "Don't say clean," because it implies people who use drugs are dirty, which is the same thing with STIs. You're not supposed, but
that makes sense.
Drug free.
Right, I can get it.
Non-drinker, drug free. You know.
Yeah, non-drinker, drug free. Best decision I ever. I just couldn't handle it. You know, liked it too much.
Yeah. No. Same. And actually, we were talking a little bit the vacation hangover, which I'm like just a little bit sharper about everything now because I'm like, there's nothing messing with my moods. There's nothing getting in the way.
Yeah.
And so I came back from a vacation. It's happened twice now, and I'm like, I hate my life. And so I started Googling. I'm like, what is this? And it's a known thing. It's because, you know, you're getting so much dopamine and exciting experiences and novelty and socializing, You come home, you're like, oh, this schmuck.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
These walls.
Yeah. These bare walls.
This window again.
Ugh.
God. Damn.
You related, though. You've had the vacation hangover.
I get really bad vacation hangovers.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Yeah, I really do. I get really sad. And it is a funny thing, like, you know, when you're drinking and drugging, it's kind of nice because your problem is you're drinking and drugging.
Right. Yeah.
You know what the problem is. And when you're not drinking and drugging, it's kind of hard to identify I remember when I first got sober, like the first few months, they call it the pink cloud. I was high on sobriety.
I'd never heard that. The pink cloud.
Yeah, pink cloud. It's a thing. And it's like a creative thing too. Like you get all your creative juices are flowing. Yeah. Anyway, I was on, you know, I was soaring. And I remember the first morning, nothing was different. I still to this day, I don't think I can pinpoint what it was. But the first morning I woke up and just didn't want to get out of bed. Like old school, you know? I was like, why do I need to get out of bed today? You know?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I could get up to eat, but I'm not really that hungry. Wait a minute, I'm depressed. Why am I depressed? I got rid of the problem. I got rid of the drugs and the alcohol. I shouldn't be depressed.
Right.
And then I'm depressed that when I shouldn't be anymore.
Right.
Anyway, you come to find out that that's just part of life. Yeah. And you start to realize things like that. Like you come back from vacation, you're like, oh, that's what it is. But you work through it instead of just getting drunk and high and never realizing what it is.
I mean, I'm a believer that, you know, the emotions we feel are trying to tell us something. We need to learn from them.
Yeah, it's a compass.
You know, like I'm having fun right now. You know, I've known you. It wouldn't occur. This just happened almost by happenstance because somebody canceled this recording. So I was like, you want to do this, bro? Yeah. And, you know, we have all these like kind of varied memories. I mean, I've known you a long time.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I've known you from New York.
Yeah.
So that was 10 years ago?
It might have been 10 years ago.
And it's interesting.
It would have been about 10 years ago. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, just that, you know, we have to go and chase life. You have to go out and figure it out. And I think when we're drinking and we're drugging, and that can manifest, I think, in lots of ways too, you know, and I still have bad habits. I'm on Reddit, you know, looking at bullshit. I'm on Instagram. It's all very addicting. But these feelings that we feel are trying to get us to figure it out and find things that are going to create meaning and, you know, love and joy and all those shit that makes life worth living.
100%. Yeah. And you got to be in tune to those things.
Yeah.
You're drinking and drugging, at least when you're drinking, not to speak for everybody, but for, you know, for myself, drinking and drugging, you're playing a guitar that's out of tune.
Ooh, I like that. Nobody likes that either. Even if you don't really know
just
music,
slightly,
you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been writing a lot more, and that's been so helpful.
Yeah.
I'm like, because then I feel
You're
like
a great writer.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I process things so much more. Things take a new meaning, and I find now too that when I am just totally like in the moment a little more, and I'm like, wow, I actually remember a lot more than I would expect. Like just like lots of detailed memories.
Yeah.
So
I remember everything. I mean, I didn't remember anything when I was drinking. I mean, I was a blackout drunk.
Yeah.
But just like sporting events and stuff, like when the Yankees and the Dodgers were just in the World Series.
Right.
And like, I was telling Bridget, I was like, I've been to so many Yankees games, but I don't remember any of them.
Well, and you were a very pleasant drunk, isn't that right?
Yeah, most of the time. Yeah.
Very.
I had my moments.
Yeah. Well, you're kind of like a calm, like happy-go-lucky guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had that thought before that, I wasn't a great drunk. I was mean and nasty, and I got a lot of feedback that was like, you were a fucking asshole last night. And that was one of the things that led me to quit. I was like, yeah,
You were the asshole.
Yeah. Yeah. And I still often am an asshole, totally stone sober.
Yeah, but it's fun. It's a lot of the times.
To
it's
be
funny.
an asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you kind of know it,
But
you use it.
do you think that might have made it worse?
So what do you mean?
In other words, that you were, I've had that thought like that if I was a pleasant drunk, and a lot of the stories people tell themselves about booze and drinking and drugging is sort of like, oh, I need it. It's a medicine that helps. It helps me get through the day. And that's kind of like even a even further thing where you go, it actually enhances my personality.
Yeah.
I'm more fun.
Yeah. I think I see what you're saying. Like being a fun drunk, it makes it harder to like get help.
Yeah.
People are encouraging you. They're like, dude, you were so funny last night. It's like, oh, I was?
Oh, shit.
Oh, all right. I'll do that again tonight.
Yeah, what did I drink last night?
Yeah. What's the concoction?
Oh, God.
Always looking for the perfect concoction. That's a big, that's a telltale sign,
Oh, my
It's like,
God.
what if I do a little bit of this? Like, oh, I remember like always trying to figure out what the perfect buzz was, It's like half a joint.
Right.
And 5 beers.
You're so right.
Like,
I've never heard that phrase. The drug user is always looking for the perfect concoction.
Yeah, they're like a mad scientist.
Yes. Well, and it plays into the whole fantasy, right? It's sort of like drugs are everything. That I think is where the addict mind goes. And, I'm an addict. And so it's sort of like the fantasy is like, if I get the recipe right, then everything will kind of fall into place. And it's like, well, that's not really how life works.
Yeah. I mean, at the core of a lot of people's problem is an obsession with control. You're trying to control things that are uncontrollable. Life is uncontrollable to most of the time. Yeah. Right? In a lot of ways.
Yeah, of course.
And drugs are something when you first start, you can control. It's like you're a kid, you're entering adulthood.
Right.
At least this was, I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
You're entering adulthood. There's a lot of things out of your control. Your body's literally out of your control.
Yeah.
You're going through puberty or whatever. And then you do a drug and it changes the way you feel. And you're like, oh, I can control how I feel.
Oh, interesting.
I'm kind of working this out actually on the fly, but it's...
Yeah. That's okay.
I'm in incredible shape. My brain works
in the
incredibly.
Top mental shape. No, I mean, it is crazy, the sharpness that comes. And there is emotions and negativity in bad days. And you think it's over.
Yeah.
You think it's over. The pink cloud, I think, applies to a lot. It can apply post-breakup, post-shitty job, whatever. Yeah, there's a honeymoon phase for everything, really.
It's a good way to say it.
But no, I want to thank you. I think you are very good about just never preaching at me, and just being like, just kind of just saying things in a way where I knew you would support it if I did finally just not do it. Just might completely drug free. Yeah, I think you balance that well.
Cool, man. Yeah. Thanks. That means a lot to me because sometimes I feel like I don't, do enough.
I don't think that's your energy though. You're not the kind to be like, hey, I think that's, you're not the kind to like try to get in the way.
I'm more like product placement. For some.
All right. We can go with that.
Look at me. You see me, I'm in incredible shape.
You're in incredible shape.
You're like, look at this guy,
I could have long hair.
He's coming up with these incredible ideas.
It's on the fly, but he's working it out.
Maybe I could have that. Yeah. Yeah, cool. I appreciate you saying that, dude. I'm really happy for you.
Thanks, man.
Overall happiness definitely goes up.
Absolutely.
With
well, you learn. I'm learning,
and you learn why you're not happy in those moments, and you can do things about it.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we do have a mutual thing with snowboarding, and then you're recently married, so we're gonna talk actually about snowboarding, and it's more really about, I think, relationships, and an activity that we're passionate about.
Okay.
For color. In this episode. So Drew's going to read this one. AITA for not wanting my boyfriend to snowboard all day, every day he's off work. But first, AITA for wanting my husband to go to an MRI appointment with me instead of going snowboarding with the boys. So I have an MRI scheduled for tomorrow. I had brain surgery in 2020, hence the need for follow-ups. And I hate these scans as I'm heinously claustrophobic. I will be given benzos to help. I told my husband about this appointment weeks ago. Then he decided to go on a snowboarding trip with his friends. Whoops, turns out it's the same day. At first he was saying, well, if you want me, I'll be there. But now I'm trying to work it out with friends so I can still go snowboarding and get you to the appointment. I'm kind of taken aback that he's fine with someone I don't know picking me up, taking me to get my MRI, then taking me to my 5-year-old's kindergarten to pick her up, then dropping me and the 5-year-old off at the house to fend for ourselves while I'm on a head full of Xanax. I still want him to cancel and be there for this appointment. Does that make me an asshole?
As a newly married man, no.
I meant to tell you don't jump directly for the verdict, but...
Oh, really?
That's my bad.
I'm an instinct guy, though. I shoot from the hip.
Shoot from the hip.
You know what I mean? I'm going to make the decision quick.
Sure. Well, why don't we start with a specific point? What's the first reason why that's your answer?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of things we don't know, right? We don't know how much they discussed this.
Well, we do know
he had committed to.
He had committed. They made the plan weeks ago.
Okay,
and then the snowboarding plan followed.
Okay, so at that moment, when the boys said, "Let's go snowboarding,"
the proverbial boys said, "Are you in?" You should have said.
Let me check my calendar, and you look at your phone.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what's this dot? And you look at it and you're like, oh, Bridget's got a MRI that day. Look, I probably can, but let me make sure,
yeah,
she can do this.
Yeah, I think it's going to be difficult given that he didn't even ask. I think my question is asking sometimes a crime? Because I guess my thought is, you're putting them in a position which in this case, it seems like you're really to ask.
Yeah.
Is a lot because we got not only the MRI, which honestly, it's like, this is pretty heavy stuff. We're talking about a brain surgery.
Yeah.
We're talking about what?
The brain.
Yeah.
It's important.
I've heard that one is important.
Yeah.
You need that.
Like everything goes through the brain.
Everything seems to go through there.
Mm-hmm.
And my brain loves me. And the I don't know why I wanted to do a voice that is the brain.
That's great.
No, and the kid, and it just seems like these kind of seem like pretty central husband father duty. It's almost like who really would be appropriate to fill in, and she's claustrophobic.
Yeah,
in an MRI machine.
It doesn't matter what she is. If she's nervous about this appointment, that's your job.
I kind of feel like that's your job.
You got to be there as emotional support. It's not even just the driving and the logistics of it. It's an emotional game.
It's an emotional game,
and it's a 2-player game.
It is,
and especially like going to the doctor, like because I've been to the doctor with Bridget, and it's they throw a lot of shit at you, and you're nervous. And if she's claustrophobic, she's going through all these things. And they're giving her all this info, and you can't remember it all yourself. A big part of being in a relationship is like putting the two heads together. To carry memories.
I like that.
You carry memories together. You distribute the weight. You help each other remember stuff, and there's probably some important information that gets thrown around in that room that you need your ears there. Yeah. Because then when she's like, I'm gonna go skiing, you're like, well, the doctor said you shouldn't.
Right.
Because.
You shouldn't be skiing.
Right.
Because you got the brain issue. Yeah, 100%. I mean, and it's, you know, this person's brain. And the brain is sort of the thing that helps memorize. That's sort of what's
half. And if you're in a relationship with someone, that brain is half your brain. You're one
half
person.
The brain power.
Half your brain's going to the doctor. You better go. You're going to want to know what's going on with that.
Yeah.
You should want to know what's going on. You should want to be there like right away. You'd want the results. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. Now.
I hadn't even thought, well, do they give you the results right away with an MRI? I don't think the MRI guy can be like, well, you actually have a brain tumor.
I'd want to see the technology too. Like, can you go in and see the technology at work? I want to see my wife's brain.
You never had an MRI?
No,
I don't know if they just show you the scans like that, bro.
You can't go in.
Have you ever been to a doctor?
There isn't a viewing room. Actually, doctors
put on this VR headset. You can check it out. You can swim around the brain.
What's that movie where they shrink down and then go through the body?
Honey, I Shrunk Myself. I don't know. One of those.
No, there's another movie. It's like a sci-fi movie from the 80s or some maybe 90s. But
yeah,
the guy shrinks down and he goes into his buddy's body.
Gattaca. I don't know.
Anyway, somebody knows. But they should that would be cool. I want to see my wife's brain.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. Well, I think I just had an MRI of my. I don't know if it was an MRI. Yeah, I think it was an MRI because I remember she's like, "This is the easy MRI."
If you had somebody go with you, you would remember if it was an MRI or not.
Well, it was actually like disconcertingly short. I waited for like 15 minutes and then I laid down.
Your nose.
No, my nose is actually in incredible shape. The inside's really fucked up. And yeah, I just like literally laid down and it was like, it actually made some nasty noises, I believe. Yeah.
I wouldn't have expected. I would expect it to be silent.
No.
It's like a dial-up modem.
Yeah, there's a piercing high noise. It's not pleasant. I think some people wear
Is that part of it? It activates your brain or something so they can see everything?
I think it's the magnets. They got to scratch a bunch of magnets together.
What is...
Some of it does seem like it's for effect, you know.
No. This person, they're paying a lot of money for this. We gotta make it sound.
We gotta get it. You gotta come on. It's gotta hit
something. It's like toothpaste where like it foams up. It doesn't need to foam up. Did you know this? They put something in it so that it foams up so that you feel like it's doing something.
Oh, I like that. Yeah,
that's the.
I pay for this like crazy purple toothpaste so they keep it in the glass. I don't know. It makes me feel like my teeth are better.
You being serious?
Yeah. I need to go in the glass.
It's in glass?
Yeah. You know. Well, everything now is at CVS is in the glass.
Yeah.
You notice that? I hate that.
And it's all the stuff that just makes people clean and.
You know?
That's annoying. I thought you were saying that purple toothpaste came in glass.
No, that would be really weird.
That would be some nice toothpaste.
But yeah, I think this comes with the role. I think when we're talking about medical, and this is heavy medical, it's a claustrophobe. To flip it up a little bit, I do think if he had already made the ski trip, I think his ski trip isn't it. First of all, I think his ski trip is almost always going to be an ask if you're a husband, dad, because that's a day trip. That's really a day trip.
I mean, my friends who have kids, like, they have to go through a process of approval.
Oh, it's such a thing. I mean, I had my two dad friends on an episode and forget it. It was booked out a month and a half. You know, the dads are just so difficult to, and they're great dads.
Yeah.
You know, they're difficult to rally. But I guess what I was going to say is I do think when you make plans, if for instance, the ski trip had been planned and then she said, I want to make an appointment that day, she also should have asked, and under certain circumstances, well, you don't just blindly make an appointment.
Yeah,
you gotta respect your partner too. But if she said that's the only day they can do,
which probably is the case. I mean, these places are booked.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The medical places are always so booked.
The earliest they can get me in is May 2025.
No, and then they're like, the next date is when the sun actually burns out. So
yeah. I mean, you asked about the asking. Is he okay to go and ask when I don't think I would have the guts.
I think the ask, I think it would be unfair for her to be really mean, but if he said, I just want to see, is it possible that this is something that we might be able to move? Right. I don't think that's unreasonable.
It's stupid, but not unreasonable.
It's not unreasonable. And I think if she then says, oh, yeah, it'll be really easy. Yeah, no, it's so easy. These medical places have so much availability. That's so...
Okay.
Yeah, it's super effortless.
Oh, cool.
Honestly, I can just do it in an app, and there's, you know what? You can actually do a brain scan anytime you want.
Oh, great.
You fucking idiot! You know, like...
Yeah. You'd have to be a freaking snake, basically, to pull that ask off. Where it's like, you'd have to come in and be like, even though you think you have a chance of going, you'd have to come in and be like, look, the guys, you know how they are.
Yeah.
They asked me to go on this trip. I told them, look, guys, it's not going to happen. Bridget's got this MRI.
Right.
I got to do that. But she's really cool. So I will ask her.
Nice. I love that.
For you guys.
She's super cool. That's what I told them.
I told them
she's the fucking coolest.
They're like, oh, we know. Of course you can ask her, you know? Yeah. And then you do it that way. Just in case maybe your friend.
Maybe throw in, I want to be there.
I'd rather do the MRI, but these guys, they're, they don't have a lot of money. They need somebody to come.
It's discount ski day at the resort. So I think we're lined up here that this is a AITA for wanting my husband to go to an MRI appointment with me instead of snowboarding with the boys. I think it's honestly a very normal thing to expect, especially given the claustrophobia, and then quadruply so given that it's something that's so serious, brain surgery.
Yeah.
And I mean, I even think we're kind of aligning that even asking has to be done very surgically, as it were. And we're not the asshole, and he is.
Not wrong to ask.
Not wrong to ask.
But be careful, bud.
Be careful. Well, because you don't want to communicate, I don't care about your medical thing, and I don't care about your feelings, because it's fucking scary to go to the doctor.
Yeah. And he should, in a perfect world, he should care.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
He should want to go.
He should want to be there to support her because she's freaking claustrophobic. And a 5-year-old, there's all these reasons. So, all right, Drew's going to read this next one. So we'll get that cooking. Oh, what's that?
He could bring the kid on the ski trip.
There we go. Babe, she's going to love it. They got a bunny hill there. I'll just leave her on the bunny hill for 8 hours. It's fine.
She can do lessons.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. Thanks so much for listening. And here is Drew with our next situation.
All right, next situation. Am I the asshole for not wanting my boyfriend to snowboard all day, every day he's off work? We tend to work 4 days a week, okay, and are lucky enough, or so I thought, to have the same 3 days off most weeks. What happens is he takes the employee's shuttle or gets a ride so that he's gone as long as a work day, 6:37 a.m. to 5 p.m. He does this all 3 days. I'm left at home and do most of the chores: bathroom, kitchen, dishes, cooking, laundry, walking the dog. During the week, I virtually always walk the dog after work, make lunches and dinner, do the dishes, etc. He also likes to go on overnight trips with friends to other ski areas. So that means I have to watch the dog. I can't go fuck off to another city outside our rural one. Okay, resentment. We've been trying to negotiate this, but his responses are always some variation of, I'm sorry, but the snow is so good.
So good, babe.
And I'm sorry, there's no time for us. I pointed out that he has control over what he does with his time. But now he just tells me, I'm sorry, I can't make time for you. You think that? Which is honestly worse. He can. He just doesn't. We still spend time together in the evenings, but he's always exhausted from snowboarding and mostly wants to eat, nap, and watch videos. I'm starting to hate winter. Am I the asshole?
Wow.
Holy cow.
I mean, I think I think first of all, just to, have a little fun here, I think we can both relate with the fact that snowboarding is very fun.
It can be like a drug.
It can be like a drug because you are just falling with grace, and it's amazing, and it's a thrill, and he's probably doing it with some friends, I'm assuming. That makes it extra fun.
Yes, it is addicting. Yeah. I mean, I've had a couple of years where about it. I told you about it, where I just chased snow, literally.
You chased powder days and
just drove around following wherever the snow was.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It can be an all-encompassing addiction. I mean, I did 33 days, my peak season, and
very proud of you.
I felt like that's all I did, honestly, even though I feel like some people do even 3 times as many days. But to be traveling,
Gods amongst men,
it's a lot. But yeah, I feel like I'm trying to defend him at all. I guess the only kind of case I can make is how much of these chores, I mean, the bathroom, it's like, why can't he clean the bathroom after he's done skiing? But I feel like a lot of the charges she's kind of mounting. I mean, walking the dog, that's a shared responsibility, bro.
That is a shared. Also, what kind of dog do we got here? Can the dog go skiing?
You could teach a dog to play basketball.
Yeah. You do 3 hours, 4 hours on the mountain, go, back to wherever you're.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if he's driving, the dog would be in the car.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
You're saying you could take him onto the mountain.
Yeah.
That should be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I think it's shirking, though. I think this guy knows, or maybe he's not letting himself fully clock it because he's drinking and drugging, or he's just on the snowboard drug.
Yeah.
Right. And it's like
he's just literally just sitting in his car at ski places, really drugging.
When you have a dog, for instance, that's a commitment. That's a responsibility. You can't just leave her with a dog and be like, well, that's taken care of. It's like, well, no, half of that dog's well-being is your responsibility. You have to ask her for that. Otherwise, you're just shoving a burden onto her. That's not okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You coming with me, or?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm really relating to the guy. So I'm having trouble. You know what I'm saying? I understand both people. This one's really tough for me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm understanding both people. I have a lot of questions, like how new of a relationship is this?
I mean, they
have a
together,
dog together.
Drew. They have the dog together.
They bought the dog together. Or
I don't know.
Dog,
we
rescued it together.
Need the genealogy of the dog.
I kind of do. If it's her dog and they start dating, and now he's off snowboarding.
Bro, your actions. How come every time I ask you to snowboard, the question always be like, "Oh, I gotta check with Bridget."
Oh yeah,
I gotta check with Bridgie.
That's true. But
you're not like this.
We're serious. We're super. I mean,
well, they're obviously serious. They live together. They live together. I mean, give me a break. How unserious. I mean, let me say that. If you live with someone, I think you better be serious. Yeah. They're not roommates. I mean, come on.
And what, she doesn't want to go snowboarding? What's that? You know what I mean?
That's her right, bro.
He must love it, and he doesn't even want to invite her.
It sounds like she's not into it. She's not expressing anything.
Or someone has to stay home and watch the dog.
Yeah.
They can't both go.
Yeah, I mean, look, it sounds like this guy isn't incorporating her into his life either way, right? Because there are lodge girls, she could be down chilling at the lodge.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he does day trips, right? So it's not like he's really bouging out. He's probably got a pass and he goes for the day, and then
he's trying to make the most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's not that far because, right, if he's coming back by 5.
Yeah.
It's probably only an hour away, but
So she lives in a ski town and doesn't ski.
Well, an hour from a ski town, maybe. I mean, with traffic, I guess you're right. They're probably maybe they live in Colorado or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's a little bit of an asshole, right?
I think he's a full-fledged asshole.
Oh, you think he's full-fledged?
Yeah, because it sounds like it's just overwhelming. He's not thinking of her at all. And she's like very people pleasing. We still spend nice time together in the evenings. And it's like, well, yeah, it sounds like he's recovering with you. It's like this person isn't carving out any of their time to spend meaningful time with you. You are doing dog sitting duty, cleaning duty. It really just sounds like you're just not a priority, and he is able to go do what he wants to do by fucking you with it. And now, and I think you nailed it. When she wrote, I can't go fuck off to another city outside our rural one. It's like, well, yeah, that's resentment. Because you're like, I'm stuck here.
And that's poison.
That's poison.
That's gonna fuck things up down the road. Absolutely. I love these quotes. I love his quote, I'm sorry, but the snow is so good.
I mean, okay, to give a little bit of, if, for instance, this was let's just say it's a month. Let's say it's like mid-January to mid-February, which is usually like peakish. Maybe just February.
March, yeah.
Yeah, sure. And he's going, babe, it's powder zone. Like, we're in the powder zone.
Yeah, this probably took place during a very good year.
All right. It's powder of what year was that? 2022, 2023?
Yeah, it's just like...
Babe, it's the powder zone. But even so, bro, I still think that needs to be communicated. Like, look, I'm going to be really into this snowboarding. You got to understand, it's a unique circumstance. This is a once a decade.
Yeah. So saying something like that, you're saying he should probably say something along those lines more than, I'm sorry, there's no time for us.
Well, yes. And you can't just say, yeah. But you also have to understand, like, just because they have the dog together doesn't mean he can be like, babe, powder zone, you're fucked. It's like, no, bro, it's your responsibility. So the question has to be, hey, I know it's my duty to care for the dog and walk the dog sometimes. Are you able to do that? Now, I will make it up to you once we're out of the powder zone. We'll go to Mexico City or whatever.
Because there's going to be a lot of time, most of the year, that's going to be a non-powder zone.
That's a great thing he could say. Like, I will make it up to you. We will be going on lots of dates. Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. But instead, it's just kind of like,
surprise her with a trip or something. Like, in 2 weeks, we're going with the dog to
the powder zone. No, I mean, I think it just needs to be a question. Yeah. I think it needs to be a question. And I think a lot of relationships go to this dynamic where a guy just assumes. Yeah. And the woman is like, oh, so I guess I'm just fucked. And I think this people pleaser dynamic where she's like, oh, it's fine. And it's like, well, no, it's actually not fine. Like, you guys have an agreement to split care for the dog. And that doesn't mean he can just leave you with the dog.
You're right. I don't know why I'm trying to, it's just that line, the snow is so good. I just, I'm vibing with it. And then the last night I'm starting to hate winter, that bumped me a little bit.
Sad.
Just because I don't like that.
Winter has a beauty to it.
Yeah, winter's beautiful. Don't bring winter into it. It's not winter's fault.
In California, I love winter. In New York, winter was really hard for me.
Yeah, the guy's the asshole, not winter. Winter's not the asshole in this situation.
We need winter. I know there's a lot of action on this planet. People are acting like we don't need winter.
Yeah, we need winter. We need a little cool down every once in a while.
AITA for not wanting my boyfriend to snowboard all day. Every day he's off work. I think this guy is shirking his responsibilities.
Sure. Yep. I think so too.
I think it's a whopping.
I would never be this guy.
You would. You're not. You're not, bro.
I would be like, Bridget, it snowed 2 feet. I know that we're supposed to get an MRI or whatever, but I have to go.
But if she said, no, you're not, I don't think
I'd be like, all right, yeah, you're right. I'm an asshole. Sorry, I brought it up. So it'll snow again. You're right.
It'll snow again. It'll snow again. AITA for not wanting my boyfriend to snowboard all day. Every day is off work. We're saying not the asshole, and he is.
Yeah.
Well, keeping to our kind of household labor, splitting domestic life, Mary Drew, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod. We're going to wrap up on AITA. Boyfriend inherited $1 million, and I want him to pay more toward the household. My BF inherited $1 million early last year, cash and investments. We would both rather have his mom back, but that's not possible. Over the past 10 years, my boyfriend has been unemployed a lot. We agreed that due to his money issues, he would pay 1/3 of his take-home pay to rent/utilities. Until the past year, he also used my car when needed. He would buy groceries, but I paid for most things. Now he has money. I've asked him to pay more in rent. His equal share would be $650 more than what he pays. When I brought it up, he suggested an extra $250, still leaving me to cover $400 more than him. This hurt my feelings, and we had a fight. He recently complained that he was the only one going to Costco and he shouldn't have to purchase so much. He's made some small purchases for himself lately: speakers, collectible skates, and snowboards. His wording is, I can't afford to do blank. I'm not asking for anything more than household expenses. I know he can afford to do more, and it hurts that he doesn't think he needs to. I suggested he look at what it would cost for him to live on his own. It would be about 5 times what he's currently paying. all in with our utilities, etc. I think he is subsidizing his lifestyle at my expense, and he doesn't think he needs to contribute money because I don't, quote unquote, need it. I'm not saving money and really would like to have something for retirement. I said that if he doesn't pay his share, then he should have his own place. AITA.
Wow. She is being so unreasonable.
I mean, it's like, let him have his mill. Like, he's vibing, you know?
He's a poor guy.
He's poor spiritually.
Yeah. He finally gets his money. Now you want him to pay what? Half of the rent?
That's crazy. Why should he pay half when you've been paying more?
Yeah, you already used to it.
Let him have a great deal while you have a shitty deal. You're used to it. Yeah, that's normal.
This is a clear-cut case.
It's pretty clear-cut. I mean, I think what would complicate it if it was just investments, maybe, or if it was.
It might be tough to get.
Well, she said cash and investments.
Yeah, I don't know. And then what is that? That's a full mill, or he's got $500K after taxes, or
yeah, right.
This is a guy who's never had money.
That's fair,
and he just has scarcity issues.
I think so. I mean, I also think when we were talking about it before, you were like, he doesn't really like her. It's just a convenience thing, and
that's what it sounds like.
That's kind of
my little therapist hat on.
I think that's coming through because I mean it is, you know, and I can see the fucking bros on Reddit being like, why would it hurt her feelings? Because she wants more money, but it's like, well, yeah,
people like that on that Reddit.
People can be like that at times because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, she is asking for money,
mm-hmm.
but you know, it hurts her feelings because it's unfair. It's fairness, you know. She was willing to make a concession for this guy who sounds like he's a little bit of a, we'll say, financially unstable.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Deadbeat. What?
Been there.
Been there, you know?
Yeah.
But like,
I understand.
Bro, like now you got dollars, like you gotta be even here. This is, I mean, even though $1 million doesn't mean, I remember what $1 million used to be like a ridiculous amount of money.
Well, there's that whole movie where that kid gets a check.
Blank check.
Yeah. Doesn't he write it for $1 million?
Yeah.
I think it's $1 million.
It's $1 million.
He's got all the money.
He's got a tremendous mansion with a waterslide. And now $1 million, like, oh, you got like a
down payment.
Okay house. Yeah, like a down payment.
Down payment on a small house in Echo Park.
I got a 2-bedroom.
Yeah.
Got a 2-bedroom.
Can't afford the taxes.
It was 1.7, but I'm like halfway there.
Yeah. No. It is not enough to just whatever live off for the rest of your life, but it's enough to pay half of rent.
It's enough to pay half of rent.
It's enough to not complain about going to Costco.
Or to word it differently, it's enough that nobody should have to pay your rent.
Yeah.
You know, that
you should, as a matter of fact, to go hard the other way, you should probably be like, I am so grateful that you've been paying more than me in rent. I felt like such an idiot about it this whole time that now that I have $1 million, just for this next year, I'm going to pay rent.
I mean, honestly,
to make up for
back pay is kind of reasonable.
Yeah, it's reasonable.
Like maybe not full, but just to have, I mean, I always have a thing. Like I have some friends who don't have any money. I love spending time with them, you know, or like my brother. My brother is my junior. I'll gladly buy, like if we're going to go out to dinner or whatever, I'll gladly buy the expensive dinner. Sure. I always really appreciate just when he doesn't make it up to me, but just buys me a little donut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always,
let me get this one.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, I'm in a couple like relationships like that where it's like, well, yeah, obviously I'm going to be buying, but like, yeah, I still want you to just show something.
Yeah.
And I feel like he could at least do that for this extreme back pay.
I do. I admire this guy a little bit.
Because he got a situation.
For being frugal and like, because I don't have that. Like if this were me, I would be wrong in the other direction. Like I would be like, let me buy you a car. You know,
you'd burn.
Let me get you a Lexus. You know, for all the times you paid for rent, I'm gonna get you a Lexus.
We're getting you a Lexi
with vanity plates.
Ooh,
it says Drew's Boo or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Drew Boo.
Yeah, Drew Boo.
That's
kind of cool.
7 characters. That works.
Yeah, I should write that down. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, he's an asshole.
I think so. I mean, I think that OP has a right to be heard. I think it's hurtful. I think fairness is a thing. I think when we talk about, we really come to this concept a lot with kids, because I'm a big believer that the kids need to be made that things feel fair. It's not accounting. It's not a spreadsheet. But, you know, if, for instance, one of the parents purchase a vehicle for one of the kids, but the other kid lives in Chicago where he can take the L train, excuse me.
Yeah.
They don't want a car, but they might feel like that's unfair.
That the other kid got the car
and they didn't, you know. Personally, I didn't feel that way. Like my brother had a nicer car than me. I don't really give a shit because
you didn't
had a car.
Just coming.
But I brought it up when I got my car here. I was like, Andy got a car, so don't I get something here? And they were fair about it. I mean, but in other words, this is what I'm talking about with the reciprocity thing. It's about making the other person feel that it's fair, even if it's not dollar per dollar fair. You know, like, I'm trying to think of an example, but
yeah. You lost me.
Like if we go on a ski trip with our poor friend, you know what I mean? We might not force him to pay a third.
Yeah. I'm just joking.
Well, whatever. Yeah, sure. might not force him to pay a third. Or maybe he says that. He's like, I can't really go. I don't have money right now.
But you want him to go.
You to go.
So
why don't you just give us $100?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not just fair.
Pay for gas.
Exactly. But it's still showing that like you're contributing.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm on about is that feeling of fairness, and she's feeling the opposite.
It sounds like he doesn't even have the instinct to like that he's been a burden. No. He doesn't even realize it. I mean, she shouldn't be on Reddit. She should just be like telling this guy, you got to get out of here. Well, congratulations. You just earned yourself 5 times rent. Have fun on your own. I mean, it's so easy to tell people objectively from a distance that they need to get out of like relationships. Well, she's in it too, hard.
Right? Yeah. She has him there. I mean, it's going to affect her expenses. He's still paying something, right? So it's that. I think that's
he must be really hot.
Yeah, maybe.
You think?
Well, no, but I'm just saying it's not necessarily so easy. Even if she is paying dramatically more, he's still paying, we'll say, probably another $650.
Yeah.
So now she's got to get a roommate. You know, it's a pain in the ass.
I see. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah. It's not so easy as to rip the Band-Aid off.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's what needs to happen, because that's what's going to happen. I think you touched on this a little bit. We talked about this, but he's clearly, if he was really loving, he would be doing these things. The fact that he's protecting this money from her means that he doesn't want to leave. He got the $1 million. He doesn't want to leave right away because he'd be the asshole, so to speak. But he's waiting until it's the okay time where he doesn't look too bad to leave and still have as much of his mill as he wants. And what he doesn't realize is he's the asshole no matter which way you spin it.
I think so. I think he might have money issues, but he needs to get over it. It's not fair the way he's treating her. It's fucked up.
He just needs to leave.
He needs to get out of there. AITA, my BF inherited $1 million and I wanted to pay more toward the household. I think once again, it's not the asshole, and he is.
Yeah, he's the asshole.
He's the asshole. Drew, congrats on all your social media success. You guys follow Drew Freed, DROO.
Yep, DROOFREED.
Roasting mailboxes. I've always enjoyed our conversations, man. You know?
Me too.
And you're a wise guy.
You think so?
I think so. I think
there's a wise streak in me.
You got a wise streak in you.
Yeah.
At the very least. Thanks for doing the show.
Thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Like and what do you keep saying? Like and subscribe.
Guys, please rate, review, and subscribe. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/AITA pod, $5 a month with, I think we have 200 plus bonus episodes. I do a bonus episode every week. Shannon does a bonus episode every week. I mean, people, it's just a great freaking deal.
If you inherited $1 million
you can
recently, you got it.
You can afford it.
You can afford
every single episode ad free. All right, guys, we'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye. Bye.